Hello and welcome for our second game, which happens to
Yep.
be a super whammy, and that's
Yeah.
England versus Australia today.
Yep.
We've got Nikhil and Paras. I think while we have a nice working weekend, it's a great,
Mhm.
entertaining one we are having today.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. It was a good game. The first one, it nearly went down the wire thanks to Killer Miller and some helpful bowling from Sri Lanka again. South Africa got through. But yeah, this one looks more exciting now. The mini Ashes.
Yeah. Would the Greens beat the Blues, Paras? What do you think?
I think Australia is going to come victorious today, given the rich history that both these teams possess. They're meeting finally after 11 years in the T20 format in the World Cup. That is.
Yeah.
Previously, England lifted the trophy, but I'm sure there's an upset on the cards for them tonight.
Oh
Oh,
wow, that's a
interesting.
bold
Yeah.
prediction. I
Yeah.
personally I think England has that little bit of an edge. It's not a
Yep.
50-50, it's a 51-49. But the news from the center is that England
Yeah.
have won the toss and
Yeah.
they've opted to bowl. I mean,
Bold.
no surprises there, Nikhil.
Yeah, agree. And it's been a pattern at the venue. We've seen in the IPL, we've seen in the World Cup as well. Teams have preferred to chase. It just gives them that much more freedom to pace their innings. And given England's bowling riches that they've had so far, as we talked about earlier, they haven't been tested. So hopefully today, Australia can put up a good show and see whether the England side has it in them to chase a big score.
Absolutely. And by saying that, I think let's look at the lineups now for Australia. And
Yep.
Paris, could you take us through the lineups for Australia since they're going to be batting first without any
Yes.
pressure? How explosive is this lineup?
They bat very deep right up till Mitchell Stark. They are there are a lot of good six hitters. Just the one change for Australia tonight, we see Ashton Agar coming in.
Yep.
And talking about the Australian batting, David Warner, Aaron Finch have looked very good in this tournament. Glenn Maxwell, everyone knows, is in good form. Steven Smith, Mr. Reliable. Marcus Stoinis, a big hitter, and Agar is a Chinese copy of Yuvraj Singh, but can do the job.
Chinese. I like that. I like that. But you gave him a little Yuvraj Singh there, so
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
something to be a little formidable. Now let's go to the England playing 11, Nikhil.
Yep. Yeah, I think this was, of course, a no change side because they've been doing well, and the bowling has been moved around by Morgan as per matchups. Today, I think it's going to be interesting to see whether Moeen Ali gets more than one over in the power play because there's just only one left-hander in the top order. So that said, I think the pace bowling attack is what will be in the picture today. Somebody like a
Yeah.
Chris Wokes, Chris Jordan. If they don't hit their mark, I'm pretty sure Australia is going to look for a very good start.
All right, great insights there. And I mean, I really feel the kind of bowling that Owen Morgan has really mixed up today in
Yeah,
the last game. Liam
yeah,
Livingston was quite like a revelation. He's bowling those
yeah.
leg spinners and
Mhm.
the balls that go the other
Oh
way to
yeah,
the right hand, left hand, just making life
true.
difficult. Bowling through those overs quickly. So they really
Yeah,
have a lot of options. And
yeah.
having said that, and I think discussing the strategies, I think let's go to
Mm.
the fun part of the segment. And I think let's go on to
Yep.
the predictions. We've not seen the results of
Yes.
the last show, but
Yeah.
I guess we can do some predictions since this match is
Yeah.
going to start. So,
Yep.
starting on, whoever does not know about this, and for somebody who's joined us, I think we're going to do three predictions: one by the bat, ball, and for the team. And we'll have a
Yeah.
leaderboard towards the end to see whether our predictions have been right. So,
Yeah.
Paras, Nikhil, fingers crossed. Allow me to go first.
Yeah.
I think my first prediction with
Sure.
the bat would be David Warner. And in the last match, he really played well. I think he's going to continue with the
Mm.
bat. He'll score more than 25 runs. Then
Yeah.
you've got
Nice.
Australia's first wicket, which will fall possibly and will be caught.
Okay.
That's my second prediction. I think England can keep it tight to Australia and they'll try to make runs. And the team prediction is Australia under 40 in the power plays. Yes, they'll be under. They'll try to be cautious so that they get their big hitters a lot of time towards the end to go for the big runs. So those are my predictions. Over to you, Paras.
Thanks, Salil.
Yeah.
I just would want to differ with the last prediction that you've made. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a little more than that, but still, I'll go with Maxwell first to score a 50. I'll say no purely because of the top order for Australia will
Uh,
do the bulk of scoring. Coming to the second
okay.
prediction would be Moeen Ali. to pick 2 wickets or not, I will say yes, purely because of the form that
Right.
he's
Interesting.
in, and the revival of his career via Chennai Super
Yeah.
Kings has been one to
Yep.
look
Yep.
at,
Yes.
and I really hope England use him accordingly to his strength.
Yeah.
The third prediction would be Australia's score in the power plays. Though I'm pretty close to your number, but I think it's going to be 10 runs more. It's going to be somewhere in between 45 and 50.
Oh, all right. That's
Yeah.
that's a bold one and a good one on Moeen Ali. Maybe he's riding a wave, so it
Mm.
doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
left-handed, right-handed. You might as well give him the ball. He's got the magic going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, going to Nikhil and his three
Yeah.
predictions for the day.
Yes, hopefully I get them right. Starting with Australia's top batter, I'm going to back the experience of Steve Smith. With no mishmash, I expect Smith to bat at 3. So is probably going to get the best of the batting conditions. So I'm hoping he top scores for Australia. The next one is Australia's score at the end of 10 overs. I expect it to be over 80, as you guys, gentlemen, have rightly said. I think they cautiously, slightly accelerating towards the at the end of the power play, and by the end of 10 overs, I think they'll be primed to have a good platform. Hopefully, not putting the markers on them. And the last one, England's top bowler, I think that is going to be Chris Jordan. The guy has not had much to do, and today bowling the key overs in the death, I think he's going to pick up a 3 for. Let's see.
Oh wow, a three for that too. All
Yeah.
right, interesting insights then. So I think just coming back to the match, Paras, what do you think these two teams have between them? You know, they've been the oldest rivalry, and they're playing in this format in the World Cup, like we said, after 11 years, and with
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
this history and some more history to make later on in the year with the Ashes coming up down under. I think
Yeah.
how do these teams approach this match?
They're going to basically take each other head on. What I feel is there's not going to be any love lost by the end of the match, but there's going to be
Yeah.
ample banter from both the teams.
Yeah.
Getting under the skin of the opposition is what everyone's learned off of both these teams in a very
Yeah.
cheeky way, that is. So what happens today is going to be, I'm very happy that Australia's batting first, given, it's a fresh pitch. And, they won't
Yeah.
be chasing down a 160 or a 170 perhaps. So, they'll be free mentally for the moment, but it's very essential for them to get the runs on board and then, go after England.
Okay, somebody who's really supporting Australia today.
Mhm.
I'll go back to Nikhil purely to
Yeah.
say that these are the two teams who are top of the table. How much of a psychological difference would it make if they either win or lose this game? Are they worried who they might play, a Pakistan or an India or a New Zealand? At this stage,
Yeah.
do you think they're thinking about it? Yes, I mean, considering the minnows come next, who are not really playing that well, and you might by default beat them. But would it really make sense if they not worry too much even if they lose today?
I think they'll want to win, especially because it's Australia and England. So both teams will not want to lose to this particular side. To be very precise in that regard, yes, they have slightly weaker sides to follow. But again, in the World Cup, you don't want to lose the momentum. Once you
Yeah,
start getting into bad habits, you will probably not be able to recover well in time. So with that said, I think both teams have looked good in the two games. They've had a few areas that they will want to work on. England so far actually have been untroubled most likely. So this is a
Yeah,
good day for them to test themselves, change a few plans around, see if they need something else to be done for say the bigger matches. Because again, I
for
don't
the
think
bigger
England have
games.
batted first. So England haven't batted first. So that will still remain a challenge for them as it will for Pakistan. So
yeah,
you'll want to get the win in and now so that come the next games, maybe you can experiment a bit more, but still be very cautious to not lose the momentum.
true.
Well, excellent insights there by yourself,
Yeah.
Nikhil. What do you
Yeah.
think would be a good score or good score for England to restrict Australia?
Yeah, I think it will. The average score here is around 150 to 160. I think that something like that would not trouble England given their batting lineup. But again, we've seen dew come into the picture a lot earlier sometimes. So if the dew sets in, Australia will want to get a stiffer target, give a stiffer target, say in the range of 170 to 190, because then that
Yeah,
keeps Australia's bowlers in the games for a longer time. And because Australia are playing with two spinners today, they have Agar, they have Adam Zampa. So Dew will not help them if it comes out. So I think hopefully for us, for a good game, hopefully we get a 170 kind of a contest.
Well, that'll be a big hitting one.
Yeah.
And Paras,
Yeah.
from an Australian perspective, now they go into bat. what would be the mentality? While I remember your prediction that they'll score anywhere between 45 and 50, do you think
Yeah.
Warner and Finch will come out and play their natural game, or would they want to really keep their wickets for the biggies like Maxwell and Ashton Agar and Matthew Wade come out and hit a few, and Stoinis?
Yeah. No, they'll definitely approach this innings with a lot of aggression. I mean, the first 2 overs may be a little quiet, but until the sixth over, from the third over up to the sixth over, is where we're going to see a lot of fours. It's expected. The new ball, given the
Yeah.
matches are in the UAE, you can capitalize as much as you want. But then the spinners come into the picture. The pitch gets slower. The ball gets roughed up. So maximum damage has to be inflicted in the first 7 8 overs, and post that you can do an analysis as to where you're heading towards, and then promote or demote individuals accordingly.
Well,
Yeah.
wonderful insights, Paris, and I think this is going to be an entertainer for anybody who's
Yeah.
either tilted Australia or
Yeah.
England, or just watching the match from a cricket perspective. I think this is going to be a brilliant game. And
Yeah.
having said that, I think if you have not started to follow us yet for these wonderful insights, you should follow us on all the social media platforms, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I think what
Yeah.
we're going to see is a wonderful cracker of a game. Let's hope for that.
Yeah.
And you always, we'll see you on the other side. Thank you, Paras. Thank you, Nikhil. This was
Cheers, Salil.
CricAdda Live.
Cheers, mate. Let's see you soon.